The point that's on this pencil is what's called a chisel point. And that's what I want to demonstrate for you right now is how to go about creating a chisel point on your pencil. So I'm going to do that by destroying a pencil. For those of you who are playing along at home, what you'll need is just any pencil, doesn't matter. You'll need a craft knife, which could be a Stanley knife, could be an X-Acto knife, could be a pocket knife, whatever it is, and any bit of sandpaper or anything, even a rough sheet of paper will work for this. The concrete floor of your studio will work for this. They actually sell in art supply stores these little pallets of sandpaper where you can tear off the different pieces of sandpaper. There is no reason to ever buy one of these. This came with one of our student kits once, and I use it for demos, but any bit of small sandpaper will work. Now, the goal, what you're trying to do, and I'll draw this for you so you can see it here on my sheet of paper. What you're trying to do, if you imagine that this is the barrel of your pencil, all right, and there's the wood coming up in the pencil right there. What you're trying to do is expose a cylinder of lead coming out the end of your pencil like that. Right. Once you've exposed that cylinder, and I say lead, lead is the colloquial term for the graphite and clay core of this. Of course, there is no lead in it. That's a reference to old metal points going back 500 years. But once you've exposed that graphite core there, then what you can do is take that cylinder and you give it a few scrubs on your sandpaper, and that will put a chisel point on it. When you have that chisel point, the beauty of this is you can get up on the chisel to get a very, very fine line, or just spin it in your fingers to the flat edge to get a beautiful soft line. So the other nice thing about this is as you're making the soft lines, you're actually sharpening the chisel to get those fine lines again. And so it's a versatile point, which you shouldn't have to sharpen very often at all. You can do a lot of drawings only having sharpened your pencil once, as opposed to using the grinders where you're constantly grinding away. If it does get dull, you just put it back onto your sandpaper and give it a couple of rubs, and you're ready to go again. Okay, so let me take you through how to do this. I'm going to take a pencil right here, and I'm just going to destroy it. Ah, that was satisfying. Just snapped that lead right off that pencil. Okay, now the whole key to doing this, and I'm sure for some of you who've tried it, you might have ground through a few pencils there. I made a joke in the little tutorial I put together that if it looks like raccoons have been chewing on your pencil, that's all right. That will happen at first. Oftentimes, I have students who work on this for weeks and weeks before they get the hang of it. The key is the flick of your wrist. The key is to push the blade straight down into the wood of your pencil. Please always cut away from you and not near anyone else. Be safe. To push the blade straight down into your pencil and then flick it by twisting quickly out so the blade then is parallel to your lead. Now, what you don't want to do is whittle it. You don't want to be sitting there and sort of whittling it in a motion like that, because you'll just be cutting into the graphite core. So you're going to push straight down and in and then flick it. And if you're doing that, you should be taking straight chips of wood away that remain parallel to the graphite core. So you shouldn't be grinding into it. And you just keep spinning it. So I'm spinning it with my left hand because I'm right hand dominant. I'm spinning it with my left hand, and I'm just pushing straight in and doing that little flick, just chipping it out like that. And that's the key to doing that effectively. If you do that, you should wind up exposing about 8 to 10 mils of that lead. Here, let's switch over to the other camera. I'll show everybody a close-up. Okay, I'll hold that right up in front of the camera. So if you've done it correctly there, you should expose about 8 to 10 mils of that graphite core, and you shouldn't have, hopefully, a whole bunch of teeth marks coming out of your pencil. Okay, let's switch back to the other camera again. And now, if I take that and I take my little bit of sandpaper, I'm going to hold it at about a 45-degree angle, to the sandpaper, and just a couple of quick strokes back and forth. And that will put that beautiful chisel point on that pencil.